Okay. Let's just make sure this is good. Alright. Like check. Should be good. Okay. So close this. Hey, what's up? Alright, what's up everyone? Yeah, this. Alright, so today will be the final stream of Still Ball Run. I mean, possibly of JOJO's. We'll see. I'm not sure about that one. You never know, but yeah, today will be the last really video or content on JOJO's for a while, unless maybe we get a new trailer for part 7 in December. But yeah, other than that, this could be the last, video or content about JOJO's this year. So, what's up, Cecile? So yeah, the plan is around 2 hours max. I don't think I'm gonna go past 2 hours. It might be shorter. We'll have to see how the stream goes, but that's kind of the plan right now. Also, let me know if raise your mic. Okay, that's what I was about to ask. Wonder. Yeah, let me know if this, maybe I could just bring down the music as well, instead of just getting my mic higher. Alright, so as you guys can see as well, probably with the title, what we will be doing is tier list. So we'll first of all, we'll go over the character ranking that we've been updating every stream, or every 10 chapters. So that's also in the description if you don't want to wait and just go see by yourself. It's always there. But we'll go over that, talk about that a little bit. Then we'll do a tier list of just my top 30 JOJO's characters from part 1 to part 7. And then we have quite a few fan animation that we can kind of look through. I don't know if I'll be able to do every single one of them. We'll have to see with that one as well, but we'll do that. And then we'll just kind of discuss the part. If you guys, I do want to have maybe a section where maybe once there's more people in the live, you guys can ask me questions. It can be about part 7 or even previous parts, things that ties into part 7. And then yeah, we'll go from there. I might also want to just kind of rate every part. It's mostly rating part 7 out of 10, but I think it's gonna be easier for me to kind of rate every part and then get to part 7. So those are the things that we have planned for the stream, and we'll see if there's anything else that comes into it at some point. Okay, so let's just start with the character ranking, I guess. Um, mm, mm, mm. Mm. It's still low. I mean, it shouldn't be because on my end it's like in the yellow when I talk, so I don't know. I mean, I could try to make it a little bit more, but I mean, like this should be good. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let me look here real quick. Okay. We'll try like this. I mean, if this is. What's up? What's up? Once again, every time I don't know, I can't say your name, so I'm just gonna, but yeah. We'll try with this. So we'll go from the bottom. We go here. Oops. All right, so starting from the bottom, also there is a character that's not in here. I kind of realized yesterday that I didn't add him. I mean, it's not that important. Now better, okay. It's not that important, but yeah, there's a character that I do wanna, that's not in here that I'll talk about, but so yeah, starting from the bottom, we have Abdul. I mean, you know, he basically was there for one chapter, maybe, like actual one chapter. Scarlet, I mean, it was cool at first, like, to have a, you know, for Valentine to have a wife, right? Like, but yeah, I don't think Scarlet as a character was all that great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel anything about Scarlet's character. I feel like she could have been more interesting due to her position or role, I guess, in Valentine's story, but Stroheim was just like, just a fun character, you know, again, classic callback to previous parts, which is something I love about Araki. Yeah, I would say, I mean, obviously JoJo's is such a unique story by having parts, but I've never seen that in anything, right? Like how he just calls back to characters like this. It's just special, man. It's really good. Narusuke, I mean, I'm glad, you know, the old man got his happy ending, I guess, at the end. Again, he didn't do much. Wasn't much of a character. Dot An is just kind of a meme character, I feel like. I mean, unfortunate guy, bro. Just died, kind of got manipulated, right? Poor boy Abdul. Scarlet deserves the title of being one of the canonically bisexual characters. Fair enough. Then we have the Boom Boom family. which probably one of the weakest parts of the part, right? One of the weakest section. It's very low barrel villains in JoJo's type. Like, we've had those type of villains in previous parts, which is just kind of like not necessarily needed. I think, you know, Araki can do much better in that. So yeah, I think they're brought down. I'm kind of including the three characters together. They have a little bit more character. They did do a little bit more than the characters under them, but not great either. King's Servant, I mean, he got... I say King's Servant, but I don't even remember if that's actually his position. I think I wrote that at first, but this might be wrong. But the guy that talked to Gyro earlier in like the flashback, that kind of gave him the idea about the Steel Ball Run, but I think he had some great line and a great impact in Gyro's life in that backstory. Again, we didn't see much of him after that, so he could be lower as well. Robinson, I think he was short and sweet. He just pulled up, fought for one chapter pretty quick. Like, I imagine in the anime it's going to be maybe 10 minutes. You know, he's gonna be there for maybe 10 minutes. But I think for the screen time he had, I enjoyed his character and his fight. I think his fight was good. I think the fact that it didn't drag on, right, that it was quick, just felt good to me. So also really cool character design. Porcupine Hat, I think he had some interesting bit actually to his character that kind of characterized a little bit Valentine as well. So I enjoyed Porcupine Hat. I would say, contrary to Robinson, I think his fight was a little bit too long. I think it could have been a tad bit shorter. So if we could have like a balance between Robinson's length of his fight and Porcupine Hat. But other than that, I did enjoy his character. Michael was fine. I mean, I think for the amount of screen time and importance he had and all of that, I think he's probably the weakest, especially since that was like when Araki was really getting good at it, and you know, he had a monthly schedule. So I feel like Michael was a little bit underwhelming to me. Didn't have a whole lot of a character as well. So yeah. Then we have Marco. Again, just such an important character in Gyro's story, and just the story in general, just because of how important Gyro is. But obviously his ending in chapter 95, that was insane. But it was actually good, but it was such an Araki thing to do, it was insane. And just for that moment, I'm like, yeah, Marco deserves this place there just for that. I would say here is like... Actually, no, I'll wait. Disco, once again, very short and sweet character. I mean, he didn't talk much, he doesn't have much lines, he kind of pulled up and just... he had a complex and weird ability, but I kind of enjoyed it. His fight was fun. You know, there was definitely some JoJo logic where Gyro just became the smartest character on Earth to win. But I liked his entire design, just kind of his first appearance, like his first panel. I was like, who the hell is that guy? And with Valentine in that moment, again, he was short and sweet, didn't drag on, you know, wasn't annoying or anything, just cool ability, cool design, pulled up, cool fight, and then just got defeated. So Michael was definitely underwhelming for the time he was introduced, yeah. His ability was interesting, but I don't know. So yeah, I would say from there, top 21 here, I think this is where like there's kind of a gap where the characters under there, 22 and below, are like, they're fine, like they have their role in the story, but I don't really care that much about their character or anything. I would say like Boo Boom Family and below is where like I don't really like their character, or there's something I don't like about their character, or they're just barely not even a character. And then I would say Disco until maybe Robinson. King Servant is like, I enjoy their presence in the story. I don't dislike them or anything, but not much more there. And then I would say when you get to Sugar Mountain is where I start actually liking the character. So next we have, Sugar Mountain. I think she was such a melancholic, I don't know if I said that right, character. She had just that, such a sad presence. Like you could tell instantly, right? Just the way she was drawn, her eyes, and obviously when you get to learn that she's just stuck here in this tree and her parents are there and everything. Just that whole plotline, I think, was such something that, like a breath of fresh air, that something I haven't seen in JoJo's hierarchy so far, in terms of like just a, kind of a new stand user fight. Wasn't really a fight there, but I don't know. I think that was just the overall vibe, aesthetic vibe of it was super well done. So yeah, I do really enjoy the Sugar Mountain arc. I don't remember how it's called, but I'm interested to see how the vibe translates in the anime with the music and everything. Oyekomova, another kind of early stand user that we fight. But once again, that was by far my favorite fight, like earlier on in the part, within like the first, 25, 20, like 27 chapters. I think it was so JoJo, but it was so entertaining, so fun. Oyekomova's entire design as well was really cool. How he was tied to Jaro and Gregorio. How we just had the flag of America, which is pretty important, right, with Valentine, who has literally America on his back. Yeah, and his stand was cool as well, so overall, like, it was really enjoyable. It kind of reminded me a little bit of, Kira with his stand, with making bombs. Axel Row, amazing stand, really, really great stand. One of my favorite fights in the part for sure. And even his character was interesting, his backstory and everything, that was interesting. So overall, really enjoyed Axel Row. George, I was debating on putting George a little bit lower, like around, maybe right under Sugar Mountain. I still don't know how to feel about like his last appearance or his last thing in the part. It's definitely an interesting section. Like, we could talk about it more, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting, like the way it's portrayed. It's like, it's cool to see George kind of getting better, seeing the flaws and the mistakes he's done, but it also, the scene feels like it's more so about Johnny, right, and celebrating Johnny's growth and where he's at now. It's just the way it was portrayed and presented was a little bit weird to me, where it almost felt a little bit more towards George than it should have been for Johnny. So anyway, could talk about that more, but Dio's mom, very short appearance, but loved her character and how important she was for Diego, and she's actually like a big part of why I like Diego so much. I mean, obviously Diego as a character is amazing, we'll get to him, but such a great small appearance, impactful appearance. God took the wrong son, it too much. yeah, that's why as well, like George had some obviously super important importance to Johnny's character. Magenta, again, cool character. I really like this ending, kind of paralleling or similar to Cars. Hot Pants, I would say Hot Pants, I don't know what Araki was going for with her character in the end. You know, her death was pretty underwhelming. Not a big fan of the conclusion to her character arc or death. I'm not sure what happened there, but other than that, like her backstory and how it played with other characters was cool. The rest, she did feel kind of a plot device, right? Especially her stand, like she was almost mostly there for that, right? For her stand to just heal us. I mean, we use that stand so much throughout the part to heal, right? So, what's up, W2? What's the music playlist in the background? It's a it's like a non-copyright Pokemon background music. If you just write like non-copyright Pokemon music, you should find it. If Blackmore, Blackmore was great. Once again, amazing design, amazing stand, and the way it was presented in the manga, him walking on water, on rain. The whole moment where he grabbed Jesus and Jesus appeared to him and he was freaking out and everything. His fight against Gyro and Johnny. Yeah, just how scary he was, right? Especially for Lucy. Just overall, I just really enjoyed Blackmore. Jesus, not much to be said there. The aura, insane, absolutely insane by Araki. Mountain Tim, to be honest, I don't even know why Mountain Tim is that high. I don't think he's that well written or anything. He just, I don't know, it's just Mountain Tim. I don't know. He's kind of he's not necessarily a great human being. He's kind of bad, especially, you know, the stuff with Lucy, but yeah, I don't know. Like, Mountain Tim could go under Blackmore, but, you know, is in that range. Poco Loco, just the funniest character in part 7. Maybe the funniest character in all of JoJo's for me. He's just funny from start to finish. And the fact that he won at the end is just perfect. It's just perfect. If you told me that Poco Loco would win at the start, I wouldn't have believed you, but... I do wish we could have seen more of Poco Loco. I feel like he was kind of sidelined for most of the second half of the part, and especially towards the end when he won and everything. I would have liked to see, you know, his reaction to winning and all of that. I think he could have had a little bit more. Steven, such an interesting and weird character. Again, kind of like George, where I don't know how to feel about him. Like, he has some great moments and like where I'm like, great for you, Steven, right? And then there's just, I don't know, it just feels like Araki didn't fully know where he was going with his character, maybe throughout, you know, earlier parts and everything, and he kept changing, maybe. I don't know, maybe that's what it was, I'm not sure. Still top 10 though, like, I still think he's very interesting and has some great moments. Wake Up People, it's kind of one of those side antagonists that turns good guy. I think it was done well. His dynamic with Gregorio and Gyro, you know, him being able to use the steel balls as well, in his own way. That was super cool. It wasn't something I was expecting, that we were gonna fight someone with steel balls. And then, yeah, just him turning, just really well written character. I liked his ending, you know, compared to someone like Hot Pants, like I was talking about. I think Wake Up People has a good ending. So yeah. Okay, now we're entering top 8. Sandman. Ringo, without even really being on screen, surpassed Sandman. I mean, to be fair, Sandman hasn't been on screen for a long time as well, but Sandman, I mean, he literally starts the manga, the part, which is pretty, like, it's pretty crazy now looking back, looking at the story. I mean, it makes total sense that Sandman starts the story just in terms of the themes of this part, right? With America and the time period that we're in, with capitalism and yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but Sandman is great, you know, just the setup with his sister and when he dies, thinking about his sister, just the fact that he's running, like everyone is using horse and he's running, that's just, like, he's insane for that. His stand, we don't really get to see his stand much, but I do really like the design of his stand as well. His fight versus Johnny is great. I do, once again, from chapter 12 to really his death or his fight, he basically doesn't get anything much there, so like he gets quite a few chapters of screen time in the first 10 chapters, and then he doesn't get much until his fight, and then he dies there. So I kind of wish, once again, like Poco Loco, I think Sandman should have had more screen time. I think he deserved more screen time. I voiced and talked about this, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, the first one to say that. I do think Sandman deserved a little bit better. I think he should have had more. I mean, I don't mind Sandman dying where he dies, like, you know, around chapter 44 or whatever, if he had more screen time, you know, between chapter 10 and 40, right? Like, if he had more focus during those, I would have been fine, but... So I think he deserved a little bit more, but still with that, I think he was an awesome character. Ringo, once again, I've talked about how much I love Ringo. I think, you know, he's one of the best side antagonists in all of JoJo's. The fact that he has a stand, a time stand ability, speaks a lot, talks a lot about his character and the importance of his character, how he ties in with Valentine, and how the themes and who he was working for in Valentine, the more you learn about Valentine, the more you just kind of feel sad about Ringo in a way. Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's, you know, a True Man's World is one of the best arc in the part as well. His fight versus Gyro and Johnny, freaking awesome. Can't wait to see that animated. Like, once this is animated in the anime, like, if they do it justice, it's gonna go crazy. Like, depending on how the animated stand, his ability, and just the end of that fight, it could be awesome, man. No waits for Ringo, just a goat, yep. Gregorio, I don't know, Gregorio is interesting because a part of me wished he would have gotten a little bit more screen time from like chapter 60 to 95. But it also kind of makes sense for his character to not appear much during that last portion. So I don't know, but yeah, Gregorio, I was gonna say, like, he might be one of the most efficient character in all of part 7. I think every time he's on screen there's a purpose, every lines he says, his importance with Gyro and his importance with the themes of the story, how he's basically kind of trapped in this just tradition, right? Like the Zipoli that's always done, no emotions, no nothing. I mean, his life is pretty just boring, like he doesn't do much, same routine, all that, so it speaks a lot to the part and the themes. And yeah, I think he's just awesome. I really enjoy Gregorio. But he did get surpassed by Lucy in the end. I think Lucy as a whole I needed to see Lucy's full character arc, and once I saw it, I was satisfied with it. I think Araki did finish what he started well. I think she's awesome. The entire part, you just feel bad for her, you just want the best for her, and for her to be happy and get out of this mess that she shouldn't be in at all. So I'm glad to see that at the end she was able to finally enter the light. So yeah, and also, or just having kind of the last hurrah at the end, right? Like bringing the head of Diego, perfect. Now we enter the top 4. So we have Diego, so I mean we can kind of talk about it. So the top 4 at the end of part 7 is Diego 4, Johnny 3, Valentine 2, and Gyro 1. This took me a little bit of time, obviously, to figure out where each one was going, because I think they're all fantastic. I mean, the gap between those 4 characters and the characters below is massive. Like, they're so good, amazing characters. We'll get to the top 30 overall JoJo's characters, but yeah, man, they're just awesome. So yeah, I decided that Diego was gonna be 4th. I mean, it's probably because he got the least development or screen time compared to the other 3. I would say that's mostly why he's below, because I think he's just as good as the others. His stand, at first I was not sure, like when his stand was introduced, that he was a dinosaur and everything. I was like, is that really going to be Dio's stand? But obviously as time went on, he didn't look as much of a dinosaur that he did earlier, so that also made it all a bit easy, like not easier, but less jarring. But obviously now, like, I think Diego's stand being a dinosaur fits his character perfectly. I wouldn't change it at all. I think it's perfect, it's great. Even the look of it and the way he utilizes it, it's all great. It obviously parallels a lot of the early Dio with him being a vampire and being able to turn people into vampire and all that. But yeah, awesome character. A lot of him is just like rage and anger and hatred of the people above and society. Yeah, what they did to his mom. So that, I think, is portrayed perfectly throughout the entire part, and obviously his fight versus Valentine at the end is, you know, one of the best fights in that part by far. That's another one that I cannot wait to see animated with voice acting. That's gonna be phenomenal. Johnny, the main character, I decided for him to be top 3. Johnny is an awesome character. Already, you know, I was hearing things or seeing that people had Johnny in their, you know, top favorite main characters, and you know, I've seen people really like Johnny, so there was a few expectation in that regard towards Johnny, where I knew Johnny was going to be a good character. But yeah, now seeing his full character arc, seeing his entire character, I can see why people love him so much. You know, I think he's an awesome written main character. I mean, everything about Johnny's backstory, I absolutely love that Araki went with him being not being able to walk, right? Disabled. I think having that aspect to his character is awesome. I haven't seen that many characters like this, especially main characters. Authors going that route, and it was just a breath of fresh air again, and I really enjoyed how Araki did it. I do wish that throughout the part Araki would have focused a little bit more on it, on like Johnny not being able to walk. I think a lot of the times it's kind of we go from scene to scene and Johnny kind of moves scene to scene and we don't really like. Sometimes I'm like asking myself, how did Johnny even get here? He probably ramped on the ground, but we don't really get to see it. So sometimes I almost forget that he's not able to walk because it almost doesn't feel like it. So I would say there's a few moments where I wish we would have seen more of that. And I think that's probably the only thing I would have liked to see more out of Johnny. Everything else, you know, the trauma with his brother, his dad, of course, and how Danny the mouse was just throughout the entire part, and how that just kept haunting him, and how that plays into fate and all of that. I think that was awesome. Obviously, his dynamic with Gyro, awesome. He has a lot of great dynamics with Dio, with Valentine, with Gyro, with Lucy, even a little bit with Ringo. I mean, there's so much awesome character design. I also like his stand ability. I think the stand design until you get to Act 4 is alright. I think it might be my least favorite design until you get to Act 4, but yeah, man, like, in the way how at the end he's finally able to like be free, right, of everything. I mean, he had it tough. I mean, he's by far the main character throughout the part where he's a lot darker in a darker place mentally than others. I mean, he's basically suicidal a little bit, right? So I'm glad it's great at the end to see him better mentally and just Gyro changing him and everything. So awesome main character. We'll talk a little bit more about it once we get to the top 30, but Valentine, amazing. Main villain, once again, Araki just does it. I mean, he's just so good at making main villains. What's up, Yuan? He's just so good at it, and again, he doesn't disappoint this time. Valentine is awesome. It's interesting with Valentine that, you know, his design change and how he starts just, I mean, you look at him in chapter 89 in his first appearance, it's not even the same guy. Obviously, I know, you know, that Araki kind of just changed his mind a little bit. And there is in narrative explanations that you can make with his stand and everything, but yeah, I don't know, like, in terms of the anime, if I want him to look how he looked in 89, or kind of start a little bit more fat, and as the part goes and there's more, the corpse parts gets collected and he kind of gets more in shape. We'll see what they go with, but yes, I think the entire way through I could see there was hints that he was kind of trapped, and, you know, there was definitely something that's not something he wanted to be where he wanted to be. And when we get his backstory a little bit with Mr. Valentine, we can see, that at a young age he was just forced into this almost, right? He was poisoned, and thinking that, you know, this is what it was, you know, the right path. It was that, right? Loving your family, is loving your country, everything that happened with his dad. I mean, him having the handkerchief and obviously it looking kind of a napkin, but him having this handkerchief, you know, in his pocket and grabbing that's one of my favorite moments. It adds so much to his character. Yeah, and until the end he remained trapped, and he decided to remain trapped, right? Like, he, you know, he's unclouded. I mean, we could talk about Valentine's character for a long time. He's, once again, super interesting, complex. and obviously a stan. I mean, D4C is awesome again. Every part, one of the funnest things to do is trying to figure out the main villain's stan ability, right? Like with Dio, what is his ability? Here with Valentine, you still kind of have that. The design of D4C as well is awesome. So yeah, Jaro. Jaro has a crazy run. He began the story top 1 and finished the story top 1 with no change. He remained my favorite from start to finish. I didn't think he was gonna stay first the entire way through, but he did. Yeah, I love Jaro. I love how at the start he just kind of seems like this legend, this guy that has everything figured out. Right, like you kind of see it from Johnny's perspective, where he just looks like this myth, this guy that is just so strong and everything. And the more you see him, the more you just realize that he's just goofy. He has a lot of weaknesses that he does overcome throughout the part. Yeah, and obviously everything that ties in with his dad Gregorio is a big part of this weakness, and the big weakness is his sentiments, right? His sentimentality and his emotions. And I love how by the end he's like, yeah, that's me, you know, having emotions, sentiments, that's me, and he's gonna stay himself until the end, and that is the right path. So once again, I think his character arc makes sense from start to finish, super well written. He's cool as well, the steel ball, he always has kind of a little bit of that Jotaro aura presence, right, to him. Awesome design. Again, Jaro and Johnny, awesome duo. And that is it. That is it for the top 33 characters in part 7. And the character that I didn't add is Mr. Valentine, who kind of appears for really a short time. But Mr. like Valentine, I would probably put him. He had such a cool appearance, but he would probably be around here, like around Mike O, Marco. Around here, around top 20. I think Mr. Valentine was great. Yokoso. So, that is that for the ranking. Best written JoJo. Loving this Pokemon music. Yeah, I was looking for what music I was gonna put for this, and I was like, I'm feeling like I'm in the mood for a little bit of Pokemon music. Mine is 1 Johnny, 2 Jaro, 3 Valentine, 4 Diego. Yeah, that makes sense. They are so close to each other. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the top 4 are so close, man. They're just amazing. Like, it's really just up to preferences, right? Like, they're all different. Like, they all have quite a few differences in characters, and it just depends on what you prefer in those differences, right? So okay, so now while we're in this, we'll just So we're about to do the my top 30 JoJo's characters. So we'll have from part 1 to part 7. So I get this. Say my name 3 times. I'm not sure. I don't think so, man. I'm not taking my chances. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Actually, I can do it there. Alright, so we'll have it like this. This is from 21 to 30, 11 to 20, and then 1 to 10. So we'll start from the bottom. So we'll start with top 30. I mean, this one it's definitely tough. I kind of looked over it quick, kind of made my top 30. So we'll see how it goes. I also, when I'm doing this, maybe contrary to some other people, for example, like Joseph, I'm just taking Joseph as one character. I'm not gonna take, Joseph in part 2 and then Joseph in part 3. Like, I'm just gonna count him as one character. So let's start with top 30. Coming at 30 is... Where is he at? It's Jonathan Joestar. I mean, not much to be said. Jonathan, I think his importance throughout the parts. I mean, if that was just me after watching one part, I wouldn't have him as high, but just the legacy of JoJo's and obviously Johnny having Jonathan in his name. Something that always just kind of brings Jonathan higher in my list as well is how in part 6, which is kind of the end of that universe, right? Kind of right with Jolene at the end. How she kind of represents what Jonathan was, right? Like his bravery, and how she gave up her life at the end against Pucci so Emporio can, go on. I just think Jonathan that was what he represented the most, and I love how it just continues throughout other characters and how he almost keeps living through other characters. And his legacy in general, it just kind of elevates him. So yeah, Jonathan is top 30. Okay, next we have next is Abakio. Abakio in part 7 was always one of my favorites, and I think partly it was just because of at first it was because of the design and the voice acting. He has one of my favorite voice actors in Suabe. Um, Great performance. I think, you know, his entire thing of aiding Giorno was a little bit too much. I think he could have toned down that a little bit. I wish we could have seen Abakio kind of starting to like Giorno a little bit more. But other than that, I really like this character, how his previous job ties into his stand and everything. It was awesome. I'm not gonna go too in depth with those characters because we're gonna be here forever, but next we have just make sure I'm not missing anyone. Next we have Caesar. Once again, kind of like Jonathan, right? He kind of continues to live on throughout the other Zeppelis, obviously Gyro. But even I think Caesar, just in part 2, was an awesome character. You know, episode 20, I think, is definitely one of the standout. Is that how that was presented? His theme, you know, the music that was with him was awesome. His dynamic with Joseph, it was awesome. I really enjoyed Caesar. Next we have Mista. I've also done this type of tier list in the past. It's so difficult when comparing two characters you love so much. Yeah, it is tough. But it's definitely one of the parts that I really do enjoy about it as well, is because it's tough to kind of decide which one I like, even if sometimes it's just by a smidge, by a little bit. Mista is awesome, not much to be said there. Actually, do I? I think next is Narancia, which is pretty just close to him, close to Mista. Yeah, Narancia just felt like a kid to me, and which is why it just felt more tragic for his character, for him to die in part 5. Obviously, if you go back, you know, my reaction, it did hit me, it got me emotional, is that so? Which was also, you know, the OST, the music helped a lot in that. But yeah, I think it just felt like such a kid, the way he acts and everything, and it just felt like a tragic character. He was super loud as well. Do I, Next, I think I have Wake Up People. So what is that? That's 4, 5, 6. So, so that is top 24. So, I mean, we kind of already talked about Wake Up People, so I'm not gonna go over him, but he is the first part 7 character in here. next we have FF. FF is an awesome character again. I really liked FF's character arc. It played into the memories part of part 6, obviously with Uchi's stand, but we're kind of gaining memories. Like starting from not much, right? Like just kind of an empty slate to just gaining memories with Jolene and everything, and that old speech when she dies and she passes on, and I think that was super well adapted. Or death. So yeah, I think she has one of the most impactful relationship with Jolene in the part. What are we talking about in there, bro? I found like, what are we talking about? So next we have yeah, I think now we got, if I'm not mistaken, parts. Oh no, actually no. Next we have Risotto Nero. Risotto is once again one of the best side antagonists in the series. Once again, just amazing presence in the story, his character design, his voice, you know, the black eyes. It's, you know, he has one of the most iconic fights as well against Doppio. And yeah, his stand is awesome. I think it was pretty well displayed how much he cared about, you know, La Squadra, his friends, his comrades, and how much he how much he wanted revenge against the boss. I think that was real awesome. So we have 2 more characters. Sure. Like I'm missing someone here. I mean, I think this is how it is. Next is Kakyoin. Not much needs to be said as well. Awesome, you know, throughout part 3 is one of the best characters for sure. He just was happy to have people like him, right? Like Jotaro and people with stands and everything, and kind of having his final moments against Dio as well was great. Getting a little bit of a redemption there. And coming at place 21. Who's that? Who's that? Sandman. Sandman is finishing the top here. Again, talked about Sandman. I do like him a little bit more than Kakyoin and Risotto and everything. Not by much though, like someone, you know, Sandman and Risotto are pretty close to each other. And then next is Gregorio coming on the top 20. Once again, talked about Gregorio, awesome character. The fact that he's able to be top 20 with such small screen time speaks a lot. Next is Lucy. Once again, talked about Lucy. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Next is Emporio. I don't know how other people feel about Emporio and how he's regarded by the fandom or whatever, but I really enjoyed Emporio. Again, his dynamic with Jolene was awesome. Kind of like that bigger sister, younger brother vibe, and really was really the character that kind of tied everyone together, because I would say part 6 crew weren't that close. We didn't get that much interaction and bond between them, which is one of the criticism for part 6, but I feel like Emporio was the one that was connecting them the most. You know, from him between Weather Report and Jolene, between him and Anasui and Jolene, and obviously his final moments against Pucci was awesome. Next is actually that is not true. I forgot. Rango is top 20. Yeah, again, I'm not gonna talk too much about him, but and I think it is Diavolo, actually, the more time has passed, the more I can, not that I feel like I fully understand his character. I think I know exactly where he is compared to maybe last tier list. I think he sits there. I think he's a good main antagonist. He's probably one of the weakest in JoJo's, but I still think he's pretty awesome. The way he dies is just insane. And I love how Valentine has a little bit of a similar moment where he just keeps getting dragged non-stop, you know, infinity, so. I think next is Rohan. I feel like Ron has to be one of the most popular JoJo characters. It is, I don't know much about Araki himself play that, but it does feel kind of like a character insert, obviously him being a manga artist, and how much Araki can do with his character. Obviously Evan's Door, his stand is insane. Yeah, he's just one of the best characters in part 4. Next is Polnareff. Polnareff has always been one of my favorites. I don't know why, but I just love Polnareff. And he is also throughout, you know, I mean, it's cool that he kind of made a comeback in part 5. And even the stuff that he got in part 5 against Diavolo and everything was really great. I mean, he is almost the main character of part 3, so it makes sense. Next is Weather Report. Actually, that isn't... is it? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Weather, awesome. His dynamic with Pucci is one of the best in the story in JoJo's. His rage how it was sealed away and he comes back and he's just so rageful, and obviously his fight against Pucci is one of the best as well, even though I'm not a big fan of the way that the fight ends of like the car coming in. I didn't really like that, but other than that the fight is really great. And the next is Joseph. Joseph is Joseph, you know, not much needs to be said. I did debate this. Next is Bruno. At first I had Joseph above Bruno, but I realized that no, I do think I have Bruno top 11. Yeah, he's such a great leader. He's definitely one of the best side characters in JoJo's as well. I think like the big driving force of his character is him being a leader in all aspects of his life and everything, and he's just such a great guy, man. Like, I don't think anyone wouldn't want to be friends with him, you know? You look like an anime, you know, one of those animes? Oh yeah, I'm sure I do. I can never decide who I prefer between Jolene, Pucci, and Weather, all in top 10 of course. Yeah, part 6 characters. One of those few things Joseph is overrated. I do feel like I add Joseph higher, but like I said, I add Joseph above Bruno, but the more I was thinking about it, the more I was like, no. I think like, I don't know. Like those are really interchangeable. Like it's so close, like oops. Like yeah, he could be Joseph could be here. So okay, so now we are entering the top 10 characters of JoJo's, and I'm pretty sure I know who it is. I'm just gonna make sure. It's like he doesn't really have character development. Yeah, that is true. He doesn't have character development. I agree with that. What's up, Sonic Animations? What do you guys think? What's the guess for top 10? Who's coming at the 10th place? Actually, I'll put all of them like in a row, so you guys maybe are going to have a easier time. So those are the characters for the top 10. We have Josuke, Kira, Jaro, Johnny, Funny Valentine, Jotaro, Jolene, Dio, Diego Brando. Is that 10? 3, 9. Okay, there's one missing. Pucci. Those are the top 10 here, obviously not in order. Could go up here. Actually, doesn't change much. What's the guess for number 10? Alright. Guess we'll just start then, because we have, what's the time? 1 hour and 20 minutes? Yeah, if we want to get to a few fan animations. So coming at number 10, we have Josuke. Definitely one of the main characters, or characters just in general, that has grown on me as time went on. I don't remember where he was last time, or last year when I did my top, my top favorite characters, but he is number 10. I really like Josuke. Fugo? No. Yeah, the characters are here, like all the ones that are in my top 10s are all here in the first row. Coming at number 9, we have, just make sure, we have Jolene Cujo. I talked a lot about Jolene obviously last year, but she basically stayed at the same place, I would say. I just really love Jolene, I think she has a great character arc, really well written. Her character, we were talking about Joseph, like Jolene does have character development. And yeah, her dynamic with Pucci, Emporio, Weather Report, Jotaro, I mean, she has a lot, man. She's great. Are the messages getting retracted by... Are you retracting your messages, or is YouTube doing it? Don't know if I already told you before, but mine without part 8 characters, Johnny, Jaro, Jolene, Farweather, 5 Pucci, 6 Valentine, 7 Diego, 8 Ron, Jotaro, Dio. Nice. Yeah, I do remember that. I think you had Weather pretty high. Obviously, I know you love Pucci. Yeah, interesting. You're doing it? Okay. Coming up next, we have... Just make sure I'm right on this. Yep. We have Jotaro coming at number 8. Once again, Jotaro hasn't changed either. I think Jolene and Jotaro are pretty much the same. I think it's fitting that they're next to each other as well. Coming at number 7, we have Dio. I mean, Dio is Dio, probably the most iconic JoJo's character, I think. The most popular, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he's awesome. It's just Dio, right? His stand ability is great. So yeah. Number 2 has to be Funny Valentine. Okay. We'll see. Yeah, not much else to be said about Dio. Actually, there is something to be said. I think overall, if I look to what I said last year, I do think overall in just my antagonist list, and obviously in JoJo's, I think he went down a little bit. I don't think I like him quite as much as I did when I was, watching for the first time. Okay, so before we enter top 5 for number 6, Kira. If you guys remember my antagonist or just my last list, this is actually a change because Kira was my favorite JoJo's character, but it has changed. Not just with part 7, but with previous parts. Okay, so top 5. Now we are in my top 5 favorite character of JoJo. So the top 5, not in order. We have Jaro, Johnny, Valentine, Diego, and Pucci. Valentine has an OP stand, so he does deserve number 2. That's not in my requirements. I mean, yes, you know, the stand and alcohol and OP can add to, you know, how fun and entertaining a character is, but it's not like a, you know, a requirement for, oh, the more OP the stand is, you know, the higher it is. But okay, so who do you guys think? Who's coming at number 5? Out of those 5. Is you gonna live stream JoJo Leon, or are you reading it at your own pace? Yes, I will be reading JoJo Leon on my own time, at my own pace, so I won't live stream it. This might be the last live stream for JoJo's for a while. I'm thinking maybe the next time we'll have a live stream for JoJo's, it might be, maybe, if I do catch up to part 9 and it's still ongoing, maybe I'll do that. But Diego, you are indeed right. It is Diego. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting coming into part 7, but I didn't expect to have, you know, 4 characters out of part 7. Like out of my top 5, 4 characters of them is in part 7. So that is pretty impressive. Not something I was expecting at all, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah, man, Diego's, again, I just think the top 4 characters in part 7 are just by far like the most tightly written characters by Araki that I've seen so far. From start to finish, like, it feels like Araki knew what he was doing with the character, where he was going, and he wrote it and displayed it in a perfect way, like super well. Like, I'll talk a little bit more about it once we get to the top 3, but yeah, Diego's awesome. Again, we kind of talked about him already, but I do think he is better than the original Dio. At least for me, I do prefer Diego to Dio. Maybe before or even during your JoJo Leon read-through, you could start Das Pokrion Kishbe spin-off. It's just 14 chapters long and still great. Just suggesting. Okay, yeah, I might check that out as well. Once I come back to JoJo's. It doesn't include the one that I watched, like the animated ones. So coming at number 4, This is where it gets really tough for me because they are so close. Number 4. I actually kind of had an idea of where it was, but the more I was thinking about it, the more I was like, oh, is that right? Yeah, I think I gotta go with Pucci top 4. Pucci top 4. Yep, Sonic got it. Pucci top 4. So I'll go already. The next one is Johnny. Yeah, I was debating, do I have Pucci or Johnny in front? Pucci is actually probably the characters in JoJo's that the most time has passed, the higher he went on, because if you look at last year, like a year and 3 months ago, he was like here, and like I would say between Johnny and Dio, there's quite a bit of a gap. And like I much prefer Johnny than Dio. Like I like Johnny a lot more than Dio, I would say. So. But Pucci is one of probably the character that I've liked more and more as time went on. What's your favorite part? I'm gonna talk about like every part and everything, but yeah, part 7 is my favorite for sure. You're right, for those chapters are those that were animated and you watched. Okay. So I already got a few of them in, so yeah, I'll probably read it once I get to there. Alright, entering top 2. Who do we think we have? The 2 left are Jaro and Valentine. Who's number 1, who's number 2 here? If you followed, you should know, but... What's up, Patrick? Greetings, everyone. I came late, but it's nice to realize there are characters on the chart I actually know. Yes, that is right. You didn't read part 7. That's right. Yeah, there is a few characters you know for sure. I don't remember where you were at with part 3 or whatever. I don't know if you finished part 3. I don't quite remember, but. I mean, I don't know as well if you continued it last time you talked about it, but there is characters you know for sure. You should know Kakyoin, Caesar, Jonathan, of course, Polnareff, Joseph, and Jotaro, Dio. Jaro, yeah. I mean, if you've seen the ranking earlier, then you would know that. It goes Funny Valentine 2 and Jaro Zeppeli 1. Again, the top 5 JoJo's characters is so stacked. I mean, Richie and Valentine are some of my favorite antagonists in anything, not just JoJo's. And obviously just Diego's one of my favorites as well, standout side character, or I guess he's an antagonist as well, but Johnny as well. I don't really know where Johnny, I haven't really looked at it. I don't know where Johnny lands into one of my favorite main characters, so that'll be interesting to see. Valentine, again, probably my favorite JoJo's main villain. I was debating, like, okay, who's my favorite villain in JoJo's? so far, is it Valentine or Pucci? I do think it's Valentine by air. I think, you know, Pucci and Valentine, like, the gap isn't that big. Like, I love them both, and then I think Jaro is my pretty clear clear-cut favorite JOJO's character so far. But again, this top 4 JOJO's character is insane. Araki just cooked, absolutely cooked, and I do think, you know, they're a big reason of why Part 7 is so beloved. I think, you know, don't quote me on that, but I feel like they're the big reason why Part 7 is so great. I started Part 7, I've been introduced to Josuke too. Oh, okay, nice. I picked up volume 3 of JOJO on today. Okay, you're currently reading. Without spoiling, how are you enjoying it? But yeah, that is the ranking, my top favorite 30 characters. We'll see if there's any changes once I read part 8. I don't know if I'll still do a tier list once I'm done with part 8. We'll have to see, but maybe that could be a stream. Maybe we'll do another like wrap up, just talking about part 8. We'll see, but that's definitely gonna be late next year if that happens. Okay, so that is that for that. Yes, nice. Favorite stands, plural. Favorite stands, I would say, so off the top of my head, I guess I'll try to say like 5 of them, maybe. D4C. I mean, it's kind of cheating, but basically all of the main villain stands are all in there, right? Like Kira's, Killer Queen, The World, King Crimson, Pucci's. So all of them, it's kind of cheating, it's kind of easy insert all of them, but other than them, I would say Weather Report stand. Then I would have, who else? I would say Giorno to me would be up there. I mean, I would say Johnny's as well. Again, other than maybe the stand design, as I said, the first like 3 acts, I'm not necessarily that big on the designs, but the powers, and I just really like the concept, and I was kind of thinking about Koichi's stand, but I don't know. I would say Johnny over Koichi's. I just really do like the concept of evolving stand, right? Having different acts as the story goes on. I think that's really cool. So I would probably have Johnny's. I mean, I would say Ringo's is in there, Risotto's stand is in there, Metallica, maybe Bucciarati's stand as well. Just saying, my 2 favorite stands are both in part 8. Interesting. That's cool. I'm sure there's like some more low-key underrated stand out there that I'm not thinking about that I do really like. I'm obviously naming like big characters, more important stands. But... trying to think about like a low-key underrated stand. Did you watch the JOJO fan animations yet? No, that's the last thing. The next and last thing we're gonna be doing. And then we'll end this. I mean, there's so many. There's plenty of cool stands. Like, I'm thinking about White Album, I think it was called. Obviously, Ice Powers are really cool in part 5. I actually liked how FF stand was displayed, how she was using kind of like a handgun like this, shooting. There's a few cool applications as well there. So yeah, let's real quick, we'll do this real quick and then we'll watch a few fun animations and then wait. Not this one. Actually, I could go. These Pokemon OSTs are great, by the way. Childhood Memories coming back, yeah. That's what Pokemon does to you, man. It's so good. No more water. Okay. Alright, so let's go. My ratings. My ratings from part 1 to part 7 out of 10. I'm doing this on the fly, by the way, so, you know, those are not, like, perfect. Not gonna be perfect. And this is also subjective, so it's pretty normal if you have a different rating. So part 1, I would say... Part 1, I would say... Renaud dans le chat. First time. Grace Point, t'as jamais vu ça? Okay, so part 1, I would have... It's probably a 6 point. Oh, probably 6.5, maybe lower, but I'll give it a 6.5, and then part 2, I did enjoy part 2 a little bit more than part 1, so I don't think I enjoyed part 2 as much as I did when I watched it first, but I'll give it like a 7, then Part 1, it's okay. Yeah, basically that. To me, part 7 is the only 10, with part 6 and 8 being just a bit below. Okay. So part 7, or yeah, part 7 is your favorite. Okay. Part 5 is 9.8. That's high. Okay. Part 3, I don't know, part 3 has some great characters, great fights, great moments, but it's also very flawed. It's, you know, it has very slow pace and everything. I would say we'll just say 7.5. Then part 4, much better overall. I'll give like part 4 like a 8.8. Part 5. Part 5, 8.5 for me. Actually, we'll do this because they're kind of interchangeable, so I'll say that. And then, so then we have part 7, I would say. Pacing in part 3 is bad, yeah, it's pretty, at least the anime. I don't know about the manga, but the anime. Okay, so first time I haven't thought about this at all. I mean, I'll say this, I don't give 10 out of 10s easily, so bear this in mind when I write this. Like 10 is like perfect, I have nothing, you know, no criticism, no nothing, and it, you know, moved me. I'll give it a 9.5. I was debating, do I give it like a 9.7, but I think 9.5 is better. Yeah. So, I don't know what the average of this is. I'm not gonna start doing maths. You have to go RHC or Sonic. I mean, the point was fighting all the tarot cards and Egyptian gods. To me, the pacing was okay. Yeah, but I still think, you know, you could make it like better pace. I mean, I feel like some of the fights could have been one episode instead of 2. That could have fixed a lot. And even some of those fights didn't need to be that long. The manga part is faster, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Maybe, you know, in the manga it's not as bad, but in terms of the anime, like it maybe isn't just like a hierarchy problem, it could just be, you know, anime production stuff. Yeah, so that is the rating. So 9.5, again, I don't think it's perfect, but I also think it's very close to it. I don't have much bad to say about it, you know. I think the only part is between chapter 12 and 20 where we have the Boom Boom family. I think that could have been, or that wasn't necessarily Araki's best, that was very like part 3. Yeah, those 7 chapters had some good moments, but But other than that, I think part 7 is pretty much JOJo's, but perfect. You know, as I would say, like the chapters where Lucy is with Scarlet, that chapter, I think it's one chapter, I don't remember, not the best. You know, that's really it. Like, again, Sandman, I feel like deserved a little bit better. I wish I would have seen more of Poco Loco. I wish he could have gotten a little bit more screen time in the second half. Like, there's not a lot of criticism or things that I, you know, would have liked more. And again, Jaro and Johnny is by far the best like duo or dynamic in the entire story, friendship, whatever you want to call it. And it's one of those like iconic duo in anime. I feel like you have Goku and Vegeta, Gon and Killua, all that. You know, I think you could put Jaro and Johnny in there for sure. Okay. You can really tell Araki's evolution by this rating. Yep. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those believers, or you know, that thinks that the more it goes on, the better Araki gets at it. Also, I think you could say the anime as well, as Araki is getting better, and so is the anime. Like the anime production and all that. Okay, so now I think we can get into the last section before we end this, which is the fan animations. So let me... let's see. Sounder should be good. Okay, so I do want to say though, adults. Wait, let's see. How many are there? I think there's like 30, 32. So I do want to say, I think I've probably seen like 2 or 3 of those. I imagine, I don't know if they're in there, but the ones I've seen from my fan animations are, I mean, I did react to obviously the opening and everything like 2 years plus ago. I don't remember anything about those, but so I'm not gonna really count those. But recently I've seen like a clip a little bit like quick of the mozzarella. I think Jaro saying mozzarella. I've seen the one with Odd Pants and Jaro about the ore stuff. And then what's the... I've seen another thing. Oh yeah, the other one I think is like a voiced line. Like we see the manga panels and they're kind of voiced by the voice actors. I think it's like the Johnny versus Valentine stuff. So I think those are the only things I've seen. So let's see. I also don't know some of the copyright, how that's gonna go. You can also watch it on your own. Yep. Yeah, we'll see how the copyright goes. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted, and you know, since it's by fans, I should be good. But let's see. Okay. Let's see also if the sound is good. I don't know if it's too loud. What's up, Pucci? It's been a while. The moon kind of looks like a still ball right there. Yeah, this is crazy how like official this sounds. Do you see? The journals, nice. Marco there. Also, the steel ball kind of looks like the weapon, the clacky volley that Joseph uses. The eye. Yeah, everyone trying to reach the corpse, grab the corpse. Yeah, I didn't remember this at all, like the Dio shot in part 1. Johnny standing up. Yeah, I love that shot of John and Joe. Amazing vocals, man. Again, like especially the audio, like the song sounds very official, bro. It's really good. I didn't remember. I thought that the visuals was like, you know, animated, like people like redid, like literally just animated the characters kind of, but it is just kind of the characters from the manga. But yeah, those shots like Johnny with obviously his backstory and everything is great, a great addition. Nice, that was good. What do we have next? Okay, it's the sure. Can't wait for this to be animated. Best part, by the way, it's your favorite too. Nice. Yeah, it is my favorite as well. Peak and coming. I'm interested to hear what the actual opening sounds for. This is so popular, they won't put it as the opening for a real anime, but if they would, I don't think anyone will complain about it. Yeah. Actually, nice. Look at the four seamen, so cool. Now that we know about the voice actors, I'm thinking Valentine probably won't have this voice actor. Nice. Wait, is that port 8? I don't know. I mean, it says is BR, but like, I'm pretty sure this is a character from part 8. 20 million views. I didn't see. That is crazy. That's pretty insane. Yeah, just to make sure there's no spoilers in that, right? Because I'm pretty sure this guy I've seen is a part 8 character. I mean, it's part 7, so I think it's probably safe. Just making sure. It's probably that thing where they have characters from future parts. Classic OP. Okay, this song though, I'm probably gonna have to mute. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute the song for you guys for this one. The eyes. The bullet sound on the time perfectly with the music. That's a cool illustration there. That was shiny. The editing is really good here. The ends covering him, almost him hiding himself into the universe. This actually... That was sick. Nice. That was so cool at the end there. With the steel ball and all the colors. That part, like this, the way they're showing the eyes like this, they're displaying the 4C, actually makes me so excited for the anime. Like, it could look so cool. Like, this presentation, it's so nice, man. Hopefully, maybe we get something similar like this. I really like how there's just the eyes peering through the darkness. It's really nice. The voice acting comes from the video games. Yep. Yeah, I knew that. Which won't have the same VAs for the anime. Yep. I mean, at least for the ones we've seen so far. Again, I think Valentine probably won't have the same, since all the main, Johnny, Jaro, and Diego have different. Yeah, that was dope. I'm guessing is the next one still... Did you see the trailer yet? If you mean the trailer for Part 7, yeah, I did a reaction to it. It's on the channel. I did react to it when it came out. The art spars, yep. Nice. How will the Force's abilities be presented in the anime? That's a good question. I mean, one thing you know for sure is that they're gonna cook with it. What the hell?
All those of justice. You experienced it, didn't you? Only things of happiness and beauty gather towards the corpse. D4C, Love Train.
That's sick. Sounds angelic, godly. So cool, man. That was dope. English Viego's hard, yeah. Yeah, that guy's voice, bro. Shit. This guy's got a deep ass voice. That got me by surprise, bro. I wasn't expecting this at all. The start was so cool.
My heart and actions are utterly unclouded.
Disco ball.
They are all those of justice. You experienced it, didn't you? Only things of happiness and beauty gather towards the corpse. D4C, Love Train.
So cool, man. Okay, what's next? 5 minutes. Okay. I'll try to do like the shorter ones. So let's see. Is there like one that you guys really want to see my reaction to that's like shorter? Yeah, that's the one I saw of all of yours. And yeah, or the Jaro one. Yeah, those ones I think I've heard. I've listened to most of those, so I'm not gonna do those, but this one is the best. The English VA match Funny Valentine pretty well. Yeah. I mean, it is a pretty imposing and, you know, fitting voice for sure. Can you watch Johnny Josar vs. Valentine Mogaver? Is it an ear? Johnny versus Valentine. Oh, is it this one? Okay, so we'll do two. We'll do pizza mozzarella, and then which one do you guys want to watch? The Johnny versus Valentine or this one? Crazy My Beat. This one of Fugaman is also a banger though. So, okay, it's actually might. Is this the clip that I saw? Maybe a part of it. I definitely didn't watch 8 minutes, but. We'll start with pizza mozzarella, and you guys can let me know if you want to see more Johnny versus Valentine or the crazy one. I think I've heard parts of this one as well, but.
なあジョニー今歌思いついた考えたのよ作詞作曲ジャイロ・ツェペリだぜ
Those are also the voices in the game, right? Did they do those voices? I mean, I guess they did those. They did do those voices in the game. So interested to see how this is gonna be presented in the anime and what people are gonna say about it. The animation, I mean, like the way the characters look is pretty good as well. Accurate to
激ヤバかもしれない。耳にこびりつくんだよ。レラレラのとこが。
にょほ。
冗談だよ。嘘。落ち着けよ。
にょほ。
なあジョニー、今歌思いついた、考えたのよ。
You do the lines.
作詞作曲ジャイロ・ツェペリだぜ。
ずいぶん君暇そうじゃないか。
I'm guessing this is the voice of this guy, Rawaz, or...
Ah, やばい。すごくいい。
This freaking face, man. I can't get over how crazy he looks in this. John, great art style. Yeah, the art style is really good. It's pretty accurate to just like anime in general. Chris My Beat is sang by Koda, the one who sang the OP for part 2. Oh, damn. Okay, they got the singer for that. That's crazy. Okay, we'll do this. Let's just see. Just make sure. Check out Jotaro versus Diego. What if by United? It's pure entertainment. Okay, I'll check it out. You really wait? Is that the manga? Actually, I don't know, but I'll definitely check it out on in my own time. If I don't know if that's him.
90年アメリカ人類史上初の乗馬による北米大陸横断レーススティールボールランレースが開催された。
この物語は僕が歩き出す物語だ。
Okay.
肉体
They
が
actually had 3D of the gun there.
青春から大人という意味もっと気高く生めなくては。
Ringo. That's his voice, huh? It's definitely deeper than I would imagine. I would have imagined, but. Oh, that's the first time. That Sandman's voice I actually really like his VA. That's actually a really good voice.
このレースに出て死にかけていた僕の心は生き始めた。遺体を諦めたらきっと
Sugar.
心は再び死ぬ。
The Elephant Man? No, I definitely hear it. It is indeed the ball that hit the net. One of my favorite chapter moments. Thought it is there. I do hear that it is the same singer as part 2 now. Really.
君は選ばれたんだ。何かの力、あんたの方を選んだ。
Is that what got people
迷ったなら鬱があった総取りの時が来ただがもう迷いはない同じ二人が存在することはできないダーティー・ディーズ・ダン・ダートチームぶっ殺してやる遺体の部位以上にバラバラにしてやる同じ世界に同じ二人が存在することはどんなものだろうとできない生きるとか死ぬとか誰が正義で誰が悪だなんてどうでもいいどうしよう
Yeah, I really like what they're doing with the treaty.
勝ったのは俺の方だ試練は備え物だ立派であるほど良い試練は流される血で終わる
The sound effects are going crazy. Cheating.
そういうことならそういうことでいいんだ
さようならジャイロ
Yeah, this is the part I heard before. It's so good, man. The voice acting there
絶対に
from
渡さない
Jen.
決着をつける権利は僕にだけある
Let's hear it. Zawardo.
ザ・ワールド俺だけの時間だぜジョニー・ジョースター
Time is only mine.
ディエゴお前の
Oh, this
首を
time
切
is
り落としてやるぞ無駄だ無駄時は動き出す
Insane.
ディオだと嘘だ死んだところを確かにこの目で見た大統領の仕業だこいつは異次元の違う能力のディオだダムダムダムダムダムダム無駄なんだと祈っておこうかな後悔の無事を家に
Really,
帰ろう
it's calm. Oh, that was great. That probably took them or M so much time. Like there's so much going on, like non-stop movement and editing, and I don't even know how long that took, bro. It probably took so long. And I mean, the song was awesome as well, very good. Funny Valentine Johnny Mega version is very peak. It's gonna cry. A great song. There are other fan-made animation with this song because it really feels a JoJo song. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Chimin arigato charo. I am at the final part of JoJo's part 6, and when I talked to you last time, I was at part 4. Do you remember me? Yep, I do. Well, goddamn. Alright. You've been doing pretty well. I mean, I don't remember when you talked to me about that. I mean, it feels like it wasn't that long ago, but I don't remember also where you were in part 4. Yeah, I don't remember, but final part of JoJo's part 6. I mean, I don't know which episode exactly you are, but the final part, the end of part 6 is definitely, you know, one of my favorite, like, section of JoJo's as a whole. The last 8 episodes, I think, or something. Should I read part 7 next or wait for the anime? I mean, I don't know, it depends. I mean, are you a manga reader? Do you, like, read manga in general? Is that something you enjoy doing? Because if you're not someone that reads manga, you know, you don't necessarily, you prefer anime to manga, then I would say you can wait for the anime if you want to. But you're never gonna go wrong, you know. I'll say this, like, you'll never go wrong by reading it. I mean, I like reading manga, but also like anime. I mean, yeah. I would say you should read the manga. I think you should read the manga, but you can always do both. I mean, if you really don't want to wait, then yeah, you should read the manga. There's no need to wait, but if you're able to wait, it's also good if you want to just watch the anime and then read the manga afterwards as well. That's also something you can do, but also we'll see. I don't know how good the adaptation for the manga will be as well. That's also a factor, right? Like, from what we've seen, I'm not sure about the production. Like, it could be, you know, the production, we really don't know right now. I mean, there's a few things that I don't think looks too great for me personally so far, but there's quite a bit of time before the actual season starts, so the trailer doesn't tell us everything, so, you know, I don't know how good the adaptation is, so maybe it would be good for you to read the manga, because it will be tough for the anime to, like, be as good. I don't think the anime will be as good as the manga in terms of quality, but I might be wrong. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really know. From what we've seen, I don't think it will be. I still think it could elevate a few things, and I still think it could be very good, but will it be as good as the manga? But when I watch anime, I want to experience all of it for the first time. Yeah, that's fair also. So yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. If you've read a few mangas, you're kind of, you know, familiar with manga and you enjoy it, then I would definitely say try reading it, and, you know, you'll see. I mean, read the first, like, 4 chapters. If, you know, after 4 chapters you're like, I can't wait for the anime, then, but I think once you start reading, you're gonna be like, yeah, you'll be fine with reading the manga. Leakers confirmed Part 5 animators will parting in Part 7, such as Kai Shibata and Toru Iwasawa. I don't know those animators, but we know the animators officially. When you say animators, are you saying like actual animators, or are you talking about the because let me look. Because I know we do know, like, that the Part 5 staff is coming back for Part 7. I don't know if that's who you're talking about. I don't remember the names by... I don't think we see it. Okay, yeah, I think it is. Actually, no, I don't know. Okay, no, I don't think... I don't think you're talking about those, I think. Actual animators, okay. So, that's interesting. I don't know, do you know which cut they did in Part 5? Maybe you don't, and that's fine. But yeah, it's exciting to see that there is like a good staff on it. You know, it's just that the first preview we've seen of the trailer isn't like that impressive to me. When people say part 5 team, that is exclusively for the directors, but actually meant the animators. Got you. I think I should read this because I love reading. All right. I mean, I would, I would say go and try once you're done with part 6. I think, again, you can't go wrong with it. All right, let's switch here. I think this is gonna be it for today, guys. My voice is starting to go. My throat is starting to hurt here. Kai Shibata did the Doppio throwing the knives away with King Crimson parts. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see how this stuff goes, man. What's up, Kingmar? How far are you're planning to go? Because I finished part 6 and I'm only at like chapter 15 on SBR. What do you mean by how far do I plan to go? If you're talking like about part 8 and stuff, just to reiterate, now that I've finished part 7, I'll take I don't know how long, but I'll take a break from JOJO's for a while, focus on other things, and then I'll read part 8 on my own. So I won't stream or video or anything, I'll just read that on my own, so I'll be able to get through that a little bit faster once I do get to it. And then I do plan on doing like videos where I just give my thoughts and review and all that about part 8. That's mainly gonna be the content for part 8, and then, as I've said, maybe once I get to part 9, which that's gonna be in a while, so we'll see when we get there, but there is the idea of maybe reading week or monthly as the chapters comes out or something. So that's gonna be it for that. Well, we came to the end. Yep, we finally made it. First stream, I enjoyed it. Appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed. W stream. Appreciate you, Pucci. What do you think of the CGI in the teaser trailer horses, or did you even notice it? I think it looks great. I think it's fine. I think the CGI is fine. I didn't really have too much of a problem. I did notice it. I feel like, I'm pretty good at this in terms of, seeing stuff when it comes to animation and CGI and all that stuff, but so I could see people not realizing it's CGI, some of those shots. I think the CGI is good. I would say the only thing was the characters being CGI on the horses. Like there's the shot of Diego being CGI on the horse. I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say worried, but cautious, I guess. I hope they don't have like close-up shots, too much of close-up shots of just the character CGI on top of the horse being CGI. I think that could get jarring, especially if it's like important or good moments. No, I'm not necessarily sure. I don't think that's gonna be what happens. I don't think we're gonna get much of that, but that's really the only thing. But other than that, it looked decent. Okay. That is it. We made it. Last stream. It is kind of weird because, I mean, other than the 3-month hiatus that I took for health reasons, we've been doing JoJo's nonstop really for almost like, I don't know, 2 years and a half, 3 years, whatever, ever since we started part 1. I think I've done like 200 videos or something, plus the streams. it was really great. Such a great and bizarre adventure. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of you guys in the comments, CCO, Uchi, a lot of people here. The support was great. You made the journey much more fun than it would have been by myself. So it was really fun. And again, not the end. I'll see you guys with part 8 once I get there. I'll let you guys know. Hopefully, maybe some of you guys will watch some of my other content. I do plan on finishing Bleach. I do plan on finishing what I started with Lord of Mysteries, Hunter x Hunter as well. Once that comes back and we get a confirmation and whatever of a date, I'll start doing content on that, and I'm sure I'll do other things as well, other animes and other things. Yeah, that is it. It feels weird, but this is gonna be it for a few months at least. So I'm so glad for you. Keep it up. God bless you. Thank you. Bri too. That means a lot, man. God bless you too. Yeah, that's it. Also, like right before I end, the next thing I'll do is Bleach, but obviously those will be big videos, so I don't even know if I'm gonna be posting much videos in the upcoming months, really, for the rest of the year. Might have one, actually, might have 2 videos planned for the rest of the month. That's the year. That's mainly it. So so expect those 2 videos, and then if we get trailers or stuff, you know, I'll do that as well. But that's it. Thanks y'all for being here, and I'll catch you guys next one.